Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. Yes, very true. Hampi had one of the largest market in the world. Market of gold, silver, diamonds and horses. Then including camels, many animals. Everything was traded here and people were coming from all over the world. Hello and welcome. We are meeting again in Hampi. Hampi is very important, not only from those who follow religion, but also for those who follow history and for also those who want to know why India was called as the most prosperous country in the world, why Vijayanagar was called as the richest town, richer than Rome at its time, that is in 15th century. So for that it has to meet certain criteria. It has to have a biggest trading center. It was the biggest trading center in Asia as far as horses, diamonds, gold, silver are concerned. Not only that, it was also a biggest market for the weapons, then also for those who want to sell their horses, then camels, believe it, camel I said, even camels were sold here, and the city was so prosperous that it had a supermarket of diamonds, silver and gold separately, horse market separately, so also a market of pan supari, that was also a separate big market having stalls, hundreds of stalls were there. Now all these things were attracting many foreign visitors. Is it that the only place for trading? No, it was also a historical place. A lot of events mentioned in Puranas and Ramayanas have occurred here. This was a Kishkinda in Puranas, in Ramayana. It was a birthplace of Lord Hanumana. It was a kingdom of Vali and Sugriva, and Prabhu Ramachandra has stayed here while going to Sri Lanka for a couple of days. He has worshipped here Shiva, whose temple is still there, and also there are many other architectural, iconological, temple designing point of view, like a Vitthala temple which has got a musical pillar. Here there are plates which can sing. After Vitthala temple you can also see big Gopuram that was there in the Hampi. Big Gopuram, singing pillars of Vitthala, and also royal enclosures. Now royal enclosures means it was a king's palace and a place for activity at that time. You can see ruins, but that can give you how much gorgeous it would have been. We have heard of stories of Tenali Ram and Krishna Dev Raya, which has occurred here. Now here there are big elephant stables, which means that they have large number of elephants with them. They were having processions of horses, elephants there in front of stable. Then they have a large zanana, which was including a lotus palace. Then also there is Queen's Bath, summer palaces. Their queens were staying absolutely in comfort. And what kings were doing? Every day morning they were going for a war exercises. That was in front of elephant stable, where they had teachers right from Mongolia. So they are learning all arts of war here. And you can also see certain pushpakaranis, that is wells, the designing of which is at such a geometry and with such a preciseness that you will be just stunned looking at it. And believe it, it was constructed in a very short time. Go anywhere in the town, you will find a Gopuram of Virupaksha temple. Go anywhere in town, you will see hills of the Matunga hills, then Hanuman birthplace, that is Anjanadri hills. So also many temples, many supermarkets. So do visit Hampi after a brief idea. Main aim of our series is to give you a brief idea about multiple monuments. However, that is not possible to cover in one lecture. Therefore, we have got multiple lectures. Stay tuned to us, see our multiple videos, subscribe to us and enjoy the wealth of knowledge and know why India was the most powerful, why Vijayanagara Samrajya was most powerful, why it was the largest supermarket, why it was attracting tourists all throughout, and what was the technological advances. Let's get going to each topic. Hampi had one of the largest market in the world. Many travelers, those who are traveling from world, those who has visited Rome also and those who has visited Hampi also, they felt that the glory and richness of Vijayanagara Samrajya is more than that of Rome, and Hampi is richer because they thought the pearls and diamonds were sold on the street, and they were marketed in such a way that market of 1 kilometer will take more than 6 to 8 hours to cross from one end to another end. You can imagine the spectrum, largeness, hugeness, crowding, and the articles that were sold in the market. They had stalls, single-storied, double-storied for the richer shops. You can call as a departmental store in today's language. These also had a grievance sale. That is very interesting. So all the people who, why they were trading in Hampi, was they had a grievance sale also, which was giving them a full protection that there will be justice to them. There was a toll plaza also, Taligatti Gate. There was multiple markets. Now out of the 4 major markets we are going to see today, but these were not the only one. And believe me, there are many markets which had stalls more than 800. So 800 stalls. All people all over the world are coming. What is the proof? Are the carvings. You can see Persian, you can see Chinese, you can see South African, and you can see Mongolians also in these sculptures. So these all people were coming here, they were trading, and they found this as the best market in the world for gold, diamonds, silk, then horses, camels, then their swords, everything was sold here in the best possible way. Now one of it is Achyutraya market. Achyutraya market is in front of Achyutraya temple. Where it is in between Achyutraya temple and Varaha temple. So you are going by a walk from along the river, you will see Surya Gufa, then some hill temples. Once you come down, you will find Varaha temple, and ahead of it is Achyutraya temple. But in between, half a kilometer has got multiple ruined stalls, which can give you an idea how much big it should be, how much area is there occupied. Even if you compare roads of today, you will compare the roads of 500 years back, they are larger than that, and that were full of people all over the world. The Achyutraya temple is also called as Tiruvengalanath. So Tiruvengalanath or Achyutraya temple is about 1 kilometer from the Varaha temple, east of the Virupaksha temple. So equidistance almost from the Varaha temple as well as Virupaksha temple. I am going to show you a photograph by which you can see it appears closer because of the large size of the Gopuram, that is of the Virupaksha temple, but actually it is large, and there is a big market in between, that is the Virupaksha temple market. So that was also one of the big market that we are going to see in same video little later. Then these have got major references by a Achyutapura inscriptions dated 1534. One of the best source for any information which is truly accepted are the inscriptions. So they are available here, telling us the glory of this market and complex. The temple, Achyutraya temple, is unusual because it faces north. North is also considered an auspicious direction, and it is a direction of Kuber, Lord Kuber. So north, but it is less common. The temples mostly face either east or slightly towards angulation, but not toward the south, it is towards the north. But north side facing temples are very rare. So this is one of it. So this is unusualness. We are seeing unusualness of the temple. Each and every temple has got some peculiarities. We are going to note them, and we are going to find what are the maximum differences in each temple, what is architectural specialities in it, the Vijayanagara times, the temple was traditionally approached from the river side. Always a holy bath is taken and the temple is approached. So all the temples, that was a routine, either to come from the river, or they used to have a water reservoir in front of the temple where you take a holy bath and you come to the temple. And there are big roads. The road dimension is beyond your imagination. The temple had outer gopuram leading into a courtyard with 100-column wall and inner gopuram leading to a Vishnu temple. We are seeing this because the part of this temple was also utilized as a market, and this courtyard of, or the space in front of it, was also used as a market. So in description of market, it is invariable to have certain aspects of the temple architecture also. The temple gateway shows Vijayanagara dynastic emblems, that is a boar with, wild boar is Varaha, then a sword, sun and the moon, indicating the Vijayanagara Samrajya will last till the sun and moon are there. That is called Chandra Surya Nando. Till moon and sun are there, this will be there. And they were strong because of the sword, and Varaha was their symbol. They were worshipping, which is wild boar is a Vishnu Avatara. The temple and the market streets are ruined, but the layout suggests that it was a major market and major market street, and major traffic was here once upon a time. Just imagine. This is the entrance of the temple. We are not going to see inside portion of it, but right from the entrance we will be seeing the market. These are panoramic views to give you a better idea about the hugeness. All around you will see many stalls are there, many shops are there, some are the supermarkets, and the important thing was any disputes here were settled at lower level by the officers appointed by king. Otherwise, king was personally present in this market for any disputes. And if you can see a place where king was, or his office is not a correct word, that is in front of Virupaksha temple, you can make out that how much king was as far as trading is concerned, how much purity, how much protection they were giving to the foreign traders. That's why everybody was coming here. It was one of the biggest supermarket in the world. People were coming all over. Now let's come to the second market, that is Vijay Vitthala Bazar. Now Vijay Vitthala Bazar is in front of Vijay Vitthala temple, as the name suggests. Now how you go to the Vijay Vitthala temple is by a electric car or electric vehicle. This vehicle is available around 2 kilometers away from the temple, by which you have to go. But while you are going to the temple, you will find that both the sides are full of the stalls, and this was basically made as the horse trading center. Though lot of tradings were going on in all the markets, this specifically was for the horse trading. The Vitthala Bazar is one of the most prominent market in Hampi, Karnataka in 15th and 16th centuries. 1.1 kilometer big market having 150 feet wide magnificent road. Can you imagine? 800 stalls. Then that also 500 years back. When you can consider the population, you can consider the vehicles. They were not like today's big lorries. The ruins of the pavilion on both sides reflects the grandeur and scale of the market that once stood here. The Vitthala temple is located on the west side of the bazaar. So most of the time we see that it is under the auspices of the temple, the activities of bazaar and most of the things were conducted. Even the temples had gurukulas in the same premises. Gurukula is a place where it was like a pathashala, like an educational school. So temples were taking responsibility of educating people. Temple had large premises in which people can stay for a while if they are coming from outside station. All temples you will see are surrounded by the small ruined rooms, but they were sometimes serving for this pilgrimage. Now this temple market also has all these things. The another monuments on the bazaar include Kuduri Gumbe Mandapam. Now Mandapam has got different name. This Mandapam name was Gudur Gumbe. Now Vitthal Pushkarni. Pushkarni is a well. So Vitthal Pushkarni is the Pushkarni's name given to Pushkarni because of the Vitthala temple. Now stepwell and few mandapam are also there. Mandapam were used for social activities. So each and every temple had it. And also there are carvings. What are the social activities going on here? Maybe marriages, maybe ceremonies, maybe crowning ceremonies, or maybe social functions. Now we are going to see a dibba here, that is in royal enclosure. In the Vijaya Navami dibba, we are going to see how the celebrations were going on. So you call this as the ground or a place where social activities were taking place. All enjoyments of the color festival or of the playing with the sticks, dancing with the sticks were going on in the mandapam. And you can see here, this is something one should appreciate when you see Gopuram of the Vijay Vitthala, is there are some Brazilians making Zumba dance. So that is unique of that time, and it is there since that time, Brazilian people. So Hampi, Karnataka is situated on banks of Tungabhadra, 3 km north of the Bengaluru, with more than 16,600 monuments covering 40 square kilometers. Some distance you can cover by car, some by auto, or sometime by the walk. Hampi is a World Heritage Site and world largest open air museum is situated here. Lot of glorious things in Hampi. If you start counting them, I think it will be many hours lecture just with what are the unique features of the Hampi. Now Hampi is referred as Kishkinda in Ramayanas or in Puranas also, so you can know how long history it has got and how many years tradition it has got to be of glory. Then it was the largest city once upon a time. Many people feel it was larger than Rome. Then it was a headquarter for trading like diamond, pearl, silk. Then it had multiple marvelous temples, then royal quarters. We are going to see a royal enclosure in that. We'll discuss this all in detail. So a lot of foreigners were coming. Then there were facilities for water sports also here. This is very interesting that we have got covered in some other lecture, but it was there. Then all people were staying in a pillared halls. Now see, here what you can see is the Gopuram, and to the right side is the stalls. Now see how long they are, all along. Each one was a stall. This was mainly for horse trading. How we know it is because of carvings. So people were bringing horses because the king of Vijayanagara, they were fond of horses. So horses they are buying from Persia. So you can find some carvings where they are shown horses and Persian merchants bringing them, and they were also getting lot of gold and diamond also from outside countries. But horses, most important thing, that was important here. And elephants was considered to be best from Orissa. So when Vijayanagara king attacked Orissa, what they brought was the elephant number 1 and number 2. They prepared a same Ratha Mandapa, that is the Garur Mandapa here, getting ideas from the Orissa that we are covered in some different lectures. Now you can see his stalls. There is good restoration work done by our archaeology department. We should thank them. Now this is the interesting part, Pan Supari. You will see in video also that this area was growing Supari in a large quantity. So Pan Supari market of the 15th century, I think this must be a unique in the world. So when you go to Hazare Rama temple, in front of Hazare Rama temple, you will find a board of the Pan Supari market which was here once upon a time. And there was also a space or ground in front of Hazare Rama temple where there is a Deepa Stambha also in front of it. This Pan Supari market was there. This was because it was grown in large quantity. There is grain market everywhere. There is different market for different places. You can imagine what should be at the era 500 years back, what was the population. But in spite of that, how much big market this should have been. This would have been really a gorgeous and a large market. Today's marketplace stands merely as a remnant of its glorious past. However, the ruined marketplace is still visited by a number of people, tourists, and imagine how this would have been at its time. And really glorious to have such markets. Then during the imperial days of Vijayanagara, this was a royal street that led to the palace. Much of it is ruined today. Unlike the Hampi Bazaar of the Vitthala Bazaar, the exact alignment exists only in archaeological maps. Here it is ruined and it is difficult to make out. However, you can still see a few remain portions of the near the Hazare Rama temple, which can give you an idea that this was a Pan Supari market, and the betel nuts were sold here in large quantity. Today also when you go to Hampi, you will find lot of farms. You can see in a video also we are given it that the Supari betel nuts were produced. However, this name is mentioned. How we know that this name is mentioned in inscriptions? We believe inscription because they are of that time only. So the inscription of Devaraya II confirm this name authentically, and they can give you a first Pan Supari market of the world in Hampi. You can start your tour of Pan Supari Bazaar from the front of the Hazare Rama temple. At a distance north-eastern direction, you can see a slender, tall flag post in facing the Hazare Rama temple. The pavilion, tanks, temples you see on either side of this part of the Pan Supari Bazaar. In this stage is the most traceable part of the street that remains today. Now foreign travelers, then those who are visiting Hampi for different purposes, maybe for the trading, maybe for as a traveler, they have often make one comment that the Vijayanagara kingdom had such a grandeur that pearls and precious stones were sold at the street side shops by the majors, also used for the food grains. So like food grains, pearls were sold. That was the glory of this. At safety, look at the safety, social safety, because the king was giving them. Look at the safety of the trading, safety of the handling, safety of the keeping. None seems to provide factual evidence beyond that. They say just marvelous. Beyond that, they have not given any detailed information. Our first stop was Pan Supari Bazaar opposite the Hazare Rama temple. Every Friday, market was held here in the main city of the Vijayanagara. Until the mid 15th century, it only sold Pan Supari, but later it sold other things of utility also. It was a food grain market also. Look at this board, Pan Supari market. You can park your car here for Hazare Rama temple. This is Deepa Stambha. When they are lighting it, the light was going right up to the statue of Hazare Rama. Marvelous. This was a space where the Pan Supari market was conducted. Now let's come to Virupaksha temple market, the largest, biggest, glorious and beyond imagination. This was a market which was taking more than half day to travel from one end to another end. According to local tradition, the Virupaksha is the only temple that continues to be a gathering place of Hindus and frequently by pilgrimage after destruction of Hampi in 1565. So this temple was regained, it was restored and the worship started. The temple attracts large crowds every year with a chariot There's a chariot, you can see it in the garage or in a shade, that is pulled. So the temple has a large chariot which is pulled by the crowd to make or to celebrate marriage of Virupaksha and Pampa Devi. Every spring, every year it is celebrated, and that is on the Mahashivratri day. Now let's see this market. The Hampi Bazaar is known also for Virupaksha Bazaar and is largest of the many bazaars of the Vijayanagara. Each major temple complex had its own bazaar around which a township developed. So a temple develops, around that market develops, around that township develops. So larger the temple, larger are the markets, larger the township. Each market supported by king's officer, their office, and larger market presence by king. They had a justice room where the lower court, the employees of king, then is the king, which is supposed to be a higher court, and the supreme court was the temple. So that's how it was used to be carried on. So temple had an important role not only in development of economy. Look at the economy, the way it develops. One temple gives how much big bazaar, trading, then market for the farmers, for the foreigners to buy. So a temple does a great job. Public education, it has got a mathas to give education to the boys. Then it teaches you a social customs also. So what a great job temples were doing. And great were the people who has kept the tradition. Now boosting with the local and imported goods, the bazaar can be considered as one of the ancient mall in Indian architecture history that provides organized retail space. It used to be a thriving market of Vijayanagara Empire too, for gold diamond ornaments that I have told you, how horses, cows, and even camels. Now you will be surprised why camels were traded here, but there are different carvings that shows that camels were traded here. Then bazaar also support cultural events like fairs, festival, music. All carvings are there, how to play with stick. Then there were big tanks to play Holi, and also certain things where processions were observed. That is Mahanavami Dibba. We are going to see it in some other lecture. The remains are being carefully excavated and maintained at its World Heritage Site to show us today, and that is a great work by Archaeology Department. Today in the marketplace is an area that sells variety of local items like traditional dresses, but that will not have glory of what this market had. Now we are coming out of the Achyutraya market, Achyutraya temple, and from here you can see the Virupaksha temple, and in between is a full space where lot of stalls are there, many small 1-story, 2-story, they are restored by Archaeology Department. Now once we go from here to temple, you can imagine how big the market should have been, and what was the, imagine this is full of people. Now we are going towards slightly more towards the temple. This was the zooming effect of the camera. Then sidewise you can see these are 2-storied buildings.
monolithic build.
Yes.
और शिव का अपोजिट में है। सर शिव का 180 डिग्री अपोजिट में है। वो विरूपाक्ष मंदिर से इधर तक पूरा विरूपाक्षेश्वर बाजार। इस बाजार इज वेरी फेमस फॉर द गोल्ड एंड डायमंड। ठीक है, एक सिंगल स्टोन में बनाया गया। वो पूरा डैमेज हो गया, बाद में ना गवर्नमेंट थोड़ा रीवर्क कर दिया। इसका ओरिजिनल स्ट्रक्चर होता है लेपाक्ष में है सर, सेम नदी। तो पास में है ना वो मातंगा पर्वत है। अच्छा, मातंगा पर्वत है। मातंगा महर्षि ये तपस कर दे, इसके लिए मातंगा पर्वत है। इसके लिए मातंगा वंदिता ईशा बोलता। तो 600 स्टेप्स है। दैट इज अ वेरी गुड फॉर द सनराइज पर्वत।
Then till you go to the Virupaksha temple, you will find the stalls. Stalls are all over. So single storied, double storied for supermarket, also available for the street shopping. People were selling like a grain. Gold, diamonds and pearls were sold like grains on the street, and the buyers were all foreigners, Indians, or coming from other states. With that, we are coming to end of glory of the market of Vijayanagara. I thank you for giving me your valuable time. If you have more information, please give me. If I have given you some information, give us a like. If you like the videos, then subscribe us. Thank you. Goodbye. Take care. See you in next video.